Some of the most evil fictional villains were inspired by real-life people. Here we bring you 9 movie villain inspirations. Number 1 is downright shocking. Number 9, Annie Wilkes from Misery. Annie Wilkes is the serial killer nurse from Stephen King's novel and film, Misery. The movie revolves around Annie torturing her favorite author after rescuing him from a car crash, just for revealing that he'd be killing off her favorite character in the next novel. Nurses should represent comfort and care, but Annie Wilkes was based on someone just the opposite. Janine Jones was a nurse suspected of killing as many as 60 children in the 1970s and 80s, injecting babies with lethal amounts of muscle relaxer to create an emergency and then tried to save them to receive praise and admiration. In 1985, she was found guilty of killing 15-month-old Chelsea McLennan and Rolando Santo. She was sentenced to 159 years in prison. Number 8, Kaiser Soze from The Usual Suspects. Kaiser Soze is the mysterious figure in the movie The Usual Suspects. When police round up some small-time crooks for a lineup, they begin questioning a man named Robert Verbal Kint, who tells them about Kaiser Soze, a man so ruthless he killed his own family to keep his rivals from gaining the upper hand. His paranoid secrecy means that most people who work for him don't even know what he looks like. Soze was inspired by John Flint, a real murderer adept at hiding from the authorities. In the early 1970s, he killed his own family, including his wife, mother, and 3 children. He was so thorough that nobody realized what happened until over a month later, cutting his face out of every family picture in the house. He laid the bodies of his wife and children on sleeping bags, hid his mother's body in the attic of her apartment, and wrote a 5-page letter to his pastor, claiming that he'd done it to save their souls. He soon changed his identity and remarried. It took around 18 years for police to locate him in Virginia, after which he was sentenced to 5 life terms without the possibility of parole. Number 7, Judd from Eaten Alive. Judd is an innkeeper who kills his guests by feeding them to his giant pet alligator in the movie Eaten Alive. His character was based on real-life tavern owner Joe Ball, rumored to have fed the remains of his victims to his 5 pet alligators. Ball kept alligators in a pen next to his tavern and would often entertain customers by feeding live cats and dogs to them. He had several young women working for him and had relationships with some. 2 women went missing, but their bodies were never found. Witnesses testified they saw Ball feeding human flesh to his alligators, but this was never proven. After a neighbor called the police to report a bad-smelling barrel that Ball left on her property, police questioned him. He admitted to murdering both women and made one last request: to close down his bar and enjoy one final drink. Police agreed and accompanied him there, where he took a handgun from the cash register and shot himself. Number 6, Papa Jupiter from The Hills Have Eyes. Papa Jupiter is the father of the Hill people. In The Hills Have Eyes, his people torment a vacationing family in the desert, kill them, and eat their flesh. This cannibalistic family is based on the legend of Alexander Sawney Bean and his barbaric family, who performed similar acts during the 15th century. Legend says Sawney decided he didn't want a normal life and escaped to a rural cave with his wife. They had a family of 8 sons, 6 daughters, 18 grandsons, and 14 granddaughters. During the day, they slept in the cave, and at night, they would attack, rob, and kill travelers. After killing them, the bodies were prepared for dinner. It's said they took over 1,000 lives before they were found by a traveler, a skilled swordsman who managed to keep them at bay until help arrived. With the location of the family now known, the King of Scotland sent troops to bring them to Edinburgh, where they were burned to death. Number 5, Hannibal Lecter. In Hannibal, Hannibal tells the story of psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer Hannibal Lecter. After escaping from prison, he taunts the FBI agent assigned to catch him. Known for killing in grotesque ways and then eating the body parts, Hannibal Lecter is one of the most notorious villains in movie history. To make matters worse, he's based on Alfredo Bali Trevino, a Mexican doctor and killer that author Thomas Harris met while visiting a prison in Monterrey, Mexico. He murdered his friend and lover and mutilated mutilated the body. He cut the corpse into several parts and put the pieces into a small box. He's also thought to have killed and dismembered numerous hitchhikers outside the city in the late 1950s and early 60s. He was released from prison in 1981 and continued working as a doctor until his death in 2009. Number 4. Ruth Chandler in The Girl Next Door. Ruth Chandler is a married woman who tortures her two nieces after a tragic car accident kills their parents. She focuses most of her attention on torturing one of the girls, Megan, in particular. She constantly yells and calls her abusive names, starves her, and enlists the help of her children and the neighborhood kids in torturing Megan, including burning her with cigarettes, cutting her, even going so far as to carve words onto her stomach with a hot needle. These gruesome crimes aren't completely fiction. They're based on Gertrude Banishevsky. Sylvia and Jenny Likens were daughters of poor carnival workers whose mother was sent to jail for shoplifting, so their father sent them to live with Banishevsky. Gertrude began abusing the girls when their father was late to pay her and soon focused all her attention on Sylvia. Her own children would push her down the stairs for entertainment, put out lit cigarettes on her skin, tie her up, beat her, burn her with scalding water, and force her to eat and drink bodily fluids. Eventually, Sylvia, deprived of food and water, died from a brain hemorrhage, shock, and malnutrition. Number 3. Mickey and Mallory in Natural Born Killers. Mickey and Mallory are two characters with troubled pasts that fall in love and go on a killing spree together. In the beginning of the film, they stop at a diner in New Mexico where they kill all but 2 people to make sure that they remember their names so they can pass on the legend. Based on Charles Starkweather and Carol Ann Fugate, a teenage couple that went on a killing spree beginning in 1957. They met when Charles was 18 and Carol was just 13, and despite the age difference, fell in love. After killing a local gas station owner and Carol's mother, stepfather, and baby sister, they fled town and went on a frenzied spree, robbing and killing all they came in contact with. The FBI and National Guard were called in, and after a Wyoming police officer saw Charles threatening someone with a knife, a high-speed chase began. Shots were fired at their car, and one broke through the windshield, injuring Charles near his ear. Believing the wound was fatal, he surrendered to receive medical attention. Carol claimed she was Charles's hostage, but nobody believed her. He was sentenced to death by electric chair, and she served 17 years before being released. Number 2. Norman Bates from Psycho. Norman Bates is one of the most notorious villains in film history, featured in several movies and TV series. Abused as a child by his overly controlling mother Norma, she preached about how all women were prostitutes and naturally evil. So when his mother met a man she planned to marry, Norman, filled with jealousy, murdered them both, staging it as a murder-suicide. Bates is based on one of the most terrifying murderers and grave robbers of all time, Edward Gein. Gein lived in a secluded farm with his mother, who was deeply religious. She wouldn't allow him to have friends or bring people to the farm throughout his childhood, so he formed an unhealthy attachment to her, to the point of obsession. When she died, he began robbing graves and murdering women. Police investigated his property after a hardware store owner went missing, and Gein was the last one seen in his shop. What they found was shocking. Furniture and clothing made from skin, including masks made from the skin of female heads and a skin-covered wastebasket. The hardware store owner's disemboweled and beheaded body was found hanging upside down in a shed. Gein was found guilty of murdering 2 women and robbing several graves. He dug up graves of recently deceased women who looked like his mum because he wanted to create a human suit so that he could become his mother whenever he wanted. He could literally crawl into her skin. Number 1. Chucky in Child's Play. The infamous Chucky is the spirit of a serial killer who inhabits a seemingly harmless doll. In the film, before he dies, he transfers his soul into a doll by a voodoo ritual. A woman buys the doll for her son, and soon the demonic doll kills their babysitter. The possessed doll continues killing, trying to transfer its spirit into a human body. Chucky was based on a real toy named Robert the Doll that's over 100 years old. In 1906, Robert the Doll was given to Robert Eugene Otto, also known as Gene, for his birthday by the family's maid. Reportedly abused and mistreated by the family, she gave the boy the gift with bad intentions, placing a voodoo curse on the doll. The doll soon became Gene's best friend and never left his side. Family and neighbors reported many strange incidents with the doll, including seeing and hearing the doll talking, standing up, watching people from windows, and having a maniacal laugh. Years later, when another family moved into the house, their 10-year-old daughter fell in love with the doll, but soon became a victim of its terrible behavior too, claiming she saw the doll moving around the room in the middle of the night and that it tried to attack her several times. Today, Robert the doll can be found at the Key West Martello Museum, apparently still up to his demonic behavior. Legend says he hates when people try to take his picture without asking, and that he'll curse anyone who does. The walls of the museum are filled with letters asking him to remove curses.
Hey guys, it's Angelo Cruz of this channel. I wanted to let you all know I've set up a Patreon account where I'll be offering very exciting and very exclusive bonus footage available only to people on Patreon. There, your voice will be heard regarding things you want to see and which direction I take my channel. Click on the end screen here to find out more, or on the link in the description below. Thanks guys, and I hope to see you on Patreon soon.